Hello and welcome back to this video. In this video we're going to look at how we can make things look reflective. Now again, if I wanted to make it perfect, I would go into my CAD software and I would make a model. Now we can see what makes this look reflective. If I hold it there, you can see that it has this highlight on it from where my camera from my LED, the LED from my camera is shining. Now it's the same for any object. It's about to make things look reflective. I have a very, very reflective object here, and I can see what makes it look reflective is that it has this big contrast between light and darker areas on it. So that makes it look reflective, and that's what we're going to try and do here. We're going to try and make this object look reflective. Now this could be used for rendering something that's made in plastic. It could be, something that's has a bit more shininess to the surface. It could be glass, it could be plastic, but usually we'll do it in one color. So the same principle. Now I don't have anything that I'm particularly trying to draw here. I'm just going to do a kind of generic one, and I'm going to use blues in this case. So I'm going to take my blue. Now I could do it this way, but just for ease, I'm just going to render it like that. Now I said I want to leave contrast, so I'm going to leave gaps this time. So I'm not going to go in and cover the whole thing. So I'm going to put my base color on, and I'm going to put it on with gaps. Now if we're doing this with a pen, it could be like a strike through process, we'd call it, where things are slightly gappy. So we have this light and we have this dark. Now that doesn't really work in 2 dimensions. These things work better as 3 dimensions. Now this one, up to this point I've always told you to be going with the side of the object. But with this one we're gonna change that rule a little bit, and we're gonna go vertically. So usually when things reflect things, if I had a tree that was being reflected in a pond, they would fall directly underneath. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to put in my base tone, but instead of going, I'm going to use my ruler, and I'm going to go vertical this time. So you could do this at an angle, but I think it works better if you do it kind of vertically like that. Now we don't want hundreds of stripes, just a couple. So you can start to see, perhaps, hopefully that looks a little bit reflective. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to treat my sides down here like anything else. So I am going to very quickly put my tone in. So kind of tone 5. Maybe needs to be a little bit darker. I don't know how much darker my blue pencil will get, so I might have to change to my darker blue pencil. Now you have to remember, you're like, well, I don't have any pencils, Mr. Smith. Now if you live locally to the school, I've actually put a load of pencils at the front desk of the school, so if you are wanting any supplies or needing anything like pencils, paper, they're there for you, and you can just go in and pick them up, ask the reception, and they'll give you some. So just say, I need some pencils, I need some paper, there's pens there, there's all sorts of things there, so just go in and ask, and they can let me know. Now you can see how awkward I'm finding this, because I would usually turn my page. But you can see I've got my kind of 3 tones. Now at this point I'm going to need to make a little bit more contrast. So I'm going to go back in with my darker pencil this time. If you think about when you're rendering things, it's almost like they're sharpening up. This looks a little bit out of focus, but by the time we're finished, it should hopefully be nice and sharp. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to put in some more contrast. So where my lightest bits are, I'm going to have some darker strips like that. Let's see. So that's starting to look a bit shinier. And then I'm going to go back in, same as before. I'm going to do my outline. And I've got my blue pencil in my hand, so I'm going to do it in my blue pencil. And I'm going to use my ruler, much to the disgust of many people. And like that. Almost got carried away with the spider. Got to think about him crawling about over the edge, down the side. That becomes dark like that. Right, so I've got that object. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think about, like the same I did in the corners there, I'm going to find my little rubbing out guide, and I'm going to take out, and I'm going to put a little highlight on that corner. See if that works. That works okay. And then I might go back in and darken that in. So again, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to have a look at this, and I'm going to think, does it need anything else? Let's put a little bit along the edge there. So that looks reasonably shiny. I think that, this side here is maybe not dark enough. So I'm going to go back in with my darker pencil and I'm going to add a bit more depth to the tone and make it look a little bit darker. And again, it's that evaluation process, going back, thinking about it, sharpening it up as you go. That looks better. So I'm going to take out my overfill and my over render there, like that. And then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to do the same for my two-dimensional one, there, like that. And I'm going to add in a couple of contrasting stripes just to make it look a bit more reflective. Okay, so that's a reflective surface or a reflective material. I hope you enjoyed that one. Thank you.